we haven't done we haven't talked about sneakers much as of recent. But Jordan Brand is releasing the white cement fours on May 24th, which is this Friday. This is a classic pair of sneakers, and they're making a comeback. The last time they were released, if I'm not mistaken, was I believe in 2016. Let me just fact check that really quickly. Yes, it was in 2016 that they had their last release, and so it's been about 9 years. So we have a classic pair
Damn.
coming back, hitting the shelves, man. I won't lie, I'm excited, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I will state the obvious in that they're classics and can't really go wrong with those. However, for my own personal taste, and I love fours, these just are not it for me and my style. You know, I respect the shoe. I think it's a great shoe for pretty much any fit. Um, but just not for me. And I think especially with the price tag, because what these are probably going for 225. Am I right saying that?
Is correct.
Yeah, 225. Like 225 for maybe like a collab or like a super unique colorway, maybe. But for a shoe like this, I just don't see that price point making sense, and the quality doesn't look to be anything crazy. Um, Jordan Brand is always very inconsistent, I feel like, with their quality. Some shoes are incredible, some feel like they were made for $2. So I don't know. I have mixed opinions on these. I think it's just because they don't speak to me personally, but I recognize the status they have in the sneaker world.
How about you, Dre?
I like them. I always thought white cement fours just look nice, look clean. I have to agree though. I it's not one I'd wear, mainly because I'm not a big white sneaker person. Like that's not true. I would wear white sneakers obviously, but I wouldn't want to spend top dollar for a white sneaker because I properly wear my sneakers and I know the shelf life of them for me personally, it's not gonna be in this condition for long. And I think these shoes look the best in that kind of more clean, pristine condition. So it's not something I'd buy for retail price, but I always thought, yeah, these are just a beautiful shoe, just in terms of how they're put together, the blocking. I like this speckled design. I think it's like we had a conversation a few weeks ago about elephant print and how that is the biggest fall off of all time. The speckle though for the cement never gets old. Literally never gets old to me. I think this is more of a timeless design. I think in terms of a shoe like that, maybe I'd buy, not me personally, I don't have the funds for that, but like maybe 20 years down the line, if I had more disposable income and then just buy a shoe to have it up in the background, this is one of those kind of shoes for me, but not a shoe I'm going to be wearing on a day to day, if that makes sense. But I'm excited they're coming back anyway.
For sure. It's interesting, man. I feel like we're all on like different kind of like levels of this. You have Alexi who respects the sneaker but is not too high on it. Dre also respects the sneaker, would not buy it, but he's like, can see why someone would buy it, or like, kind of, you say you like the sneaker. You like how it looks. In an alternate world, you would wear it. Me, man, I think these are, I don't know, man. I think I'd be dumb if I passed up on these. And this is just me, myself, based on my taste. I have wanted this sneaker for some time now, but I think the prices just were not one that I was willing to pay. And I think it's ironic that I'm looking at a 225 price point and I'm like, yeah, that's a little bit more reasonable. But man, you have a pair of sneakers that you have been eyeing for years and you hear that they're making their way back to the shelves, that's a different type of excitement, man. I love yes, the color blocking, like you guys have mentioned, the white looks very clean, and I also just like the red jump, man. Um, I think that is also like a nice little touch there that doesn't get brought up much. And then you have little hints of red also on the very bottom uh, of the sneaker as well, like beneath. I don't know what part of the sneaker you would call that, but the part that nobody sees.
So
But is it the sole? I thought the sole was well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the
So
bottom of the sole.
okay. Thank you. But yeah, listen, man. This pair is just too clean to me. It's been to call them a grail, I think is appropriate. Even though it's not like one of those like crazy exclusive pairs. It's one that I don't know. I have always loved. So I actually think I might actually pick these up, man. I shouldn't. I don't know. Been trying to be more just like reasonable with my sneaker pickups, but like I recent and this is also like I will say fours are not that comfortable. Like I wish fours were slightly more comfortable.
Yeah.
I think I can see why somebody would pass up on these for that reason. I think these are just worth it for me, man. And so I think I'll actually need to buy a pair. But
Hey, I respect it. I feel like, the people's ideas of grails nowadays is too commonly associated with like the rarest, more exclusive pairs. And in my personal belief, like a grail should just be for you, like the shoe you love and that means the most
Yeah.
to you and that you want the most. So, these are it for you. More power to you.
for sure, man. For sure. Cool,
Yeah,
man.
definitely. And I think I know this is more of a concept type sneaker than an actual sneaker, but if there were like a black cement four, I'd be all over that. I'd be all over that. I know that there's maybe
What do you
too
think
much.
of the what do you think of the bread board?
I like red fours, but I don't know. I can understand why there's black cement four because there's just too much overlap there. I mean, I don't know if that stopped Jordan in the past. There's a lot of colorways that look similar, so I don't know why they haven't done that anyway. But no, I do like Bread Force too. But I think if you had that with the speckle, oof, I would love them black cement fours. But I don't know if that's ever happening. So a bit disappointing. But yeah,
Wait.
I like Bread Force too.
While we're here, now I
Mhm.
just need your guys' opinion. What do you guys think of the Toro Bravo 4s? And you guys can look these up because they're not as common.
Are
I
those
just
the
saw-
bright red ones?
Yeah.
Oh, these are like popular.
I
in middle school.
always like those. Yeah, I don't know. It speaks to the child in me, that colorway. I
Yes.
think, and you know what? I know exactly why. Actually, that shade of red with that shade of black and gray reminds me exactly of Lego Bionicle Tahu. If you know, you know. He's the goat of all Lego toys, but those colors, they correspond exactly. That's why I mess with that shoe.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
fair. I'm trying to find the exact release date of when these came out in terms of like maybe over 10 years
Those were
ago.
like 20. Those were like 2013, man.
Yeah, I remember these being like I felt like hella girls had this in middle school, like these
Yes,
Toro Bravo 4s.
it was these and the green glows.
The green glows. Every girl had the green glows, bro. Even more than the Toro Bravo, the green glows were getting spammed, bro. It was actually crazy.
Those were popular. I
Yeah.
remember now. Oh my god.
Nah, but the Toro Bravos though, I like them. Would I wear them? I don't know. Maybe that's another
I
discussion, similar to the white cement. But just looking at them, I also like them. I think it's a nice, vibrant shade of red that stands out a lot, and I think if that's what you're going for with your fit, it works. But yeah, I don't know if I'd wear them personally.
Fair. I just had to ask. I saw a picture of like the white cement 4s next to like a bread 4 and then a Toro Bravo. So, and these are just. I just wanted to ask. These are like literally like my favorite sneaker of all time. So, I think I stand on
But
that.
the Toro Bravos,
Yeah, I recently got a pair and I cannot like. I love them. I love them so much. This is like
Right.
one of the first pairs that like I've. 'Cause I had these in middle school. Outgrew them obviously. Um, couldn't find a pair for a good price. Recently picked up a pair, and I have not been disappointed. Like I remember I got like Bred 11s and didn't love how they looked on feet. These have not disappointed. Have they been uncomfortable? 100%. But I just needed your guys' opinion because, yeah, I know red can get varying opinions for sure.
It's definitely divisive, but I think just because it's such a like a in your face shade of red, but I think generally just aesthetically they still look good though.
Mm, for sure.
Yeah. No, I agree. I do wish they gotta change the 4 though in the slightest way, or like they have to start using that SB4 model, which I've heard apparently is actually super comfortable and it looks the exact same, like, to the naked eye, to me.
Yeah.
They need to start using that for every model, because if they actually were comfortable like to wear all day, it would easily be my favorite Jordan.